Hey guys, this is London here from Laidback Nerds, where today we have a laid-back discussion, and we're going to be talking about Star Wars, the prequels versus the
original trilogy.
This is... Your name is?
John.
Your name is?
What?
Me say Jar Jar Binks.
Slim Shady.
And let's just go around real quick and say what we prefer. Personally, I prefer the originals. I really like them. Just that there's a whole storytelling there is a lot more interesting, for one. There's better character development. Just the movies all around are better, well-rounded, and they're just better movies, honestly, all across the board. So go ahead, John. What do you prefer?
I think we're all going to be on this alignment, but I am definitely with the originals as well. It's just better movies, quality, whatever. I mean, and quality as in like the actual like filming,
yes.
Not as in like quality of the content. I mean,
yes.
It's the time. It's what it is. Who cares? It's still phenomenal. And I mean, you have some great things from the first set of movies. Like, honestly, one of my favorite characters in the entire Star Wars universe, Darth Maul. They did one of the worst things ever. Hack and Taff. Why did you not keep him for the rest of the movies?
But they brought him back in the animated series, John. Doesn't that count?
No.
all right, Anthony, what do you prefer?
All right. Technically, I like it all. I love everything except for the expanded universe.
Okay, gun to your head, though. Prequels or original?
Just to play the opposite point
Devil's
here.
Advocate, you're going to say prequels?
I fucking love the prequels,
Oh,
man.
God.
I fucking die-hard prequels.
He doesn't, but for the Devil's Advocate, he does. So I'm going to pose the question of, when you look at the original movies, I'm going to play Devil's Advocate with the question. The original 3 movies, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, movie-wise, the first movie, before it was called A New Hope, movie-wise, compared to them was coming out at the time, was it a good movie? I mean, honestly, it was, an hour and 80 minutes, it was 180 minutes long.
The effects sucked.
The effects for the time were incredible.
I know, but
the storytelling-wise, was it really original compared to the other movies that had come out around that time? Was it really that good of a movie?
I mean,
Defend your points. John, you start first.
Suck.
Original, yeah. Good for the time. I can't speak to that. I don't know that much about the movies that were coming out at that time period, so I really can't speak to that.
He's talking to with his toes.
But I mean, for what it had, I mean, there are flaws. I mean, there's flaws in every single movie. I mean, some people love it or some people hate it. C-3PO, R2-D2, mainly C-3PO. You either love him or really hate him. That's honestly one of the people that I've seen get some of the most hate, some of the most love. Kind of like with Jar Jar Binks. Good, bad, your choice. So, I mean, with that, it's more of a preference thing.
Okay. So, let me rephrase the question with a little better wording. Do you think that, compared to the other movies that have come out in that time, was Star Wars A New Hope a good movie, Anthony?
At the time, yeah, it was a great film, but now the effects look sloppy. They look like something anyone could do in their backyard. The laser blast look alright, but just come on, the acting in that opening scene where you have rebel soldiers, that's hilarious as fuck. That is like piss poor acting. That is almost Troll 2.
Well, to be totally honest, if you want,
Darth Vader, bitch.
And there's a later scene in A New Hope where I know that you guys all probably know exactly what I'm talking about. When I was a kid, I watched it on VHS, and they didn't have that effect in. When the stormtrooper is walking underneath a door, his head hits the door. The actor's too tall and he hits the door, and it got all the way through, and it was in theaters, and no one saw it until one of the revisions that came out. George Lucas saw it and he laughed, and he put a sound effect in to draw attention to that scene. And personally, one of the things that really bothered me about just like that particular thing is that he was setting this thing up to be like a space opera, to be this kind of world that had never been seen before, and in the later revisions, including the prequels and all that stuff, it almost became like he wanted it to become like comedy. Like with Jar Jar Binks, I mean, come on, they just slapstick humor and that's all it is. When you had the people that watched it in 1977 when the fucking movie came out, and every 4 years after that, it was this incredible love story. It was about redemption and just dealing with hate with Luke and Darth Vader, and redemption with Darth Vader at the end of Episode 6. Spoiler alert! When he
It's been more than 10 years, bro. It's been more than 10 years.
if you haven't figured this out by now, then you should probably not be watching this video.
Especially considering Vader is father in German, just in case you didn't
seriously?
know.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass. I am Darth Father.
Yes, that's exactly what he's saying in the movie. I am Darth Father. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. In case you didn't know.
And
spoiler.
all y'all mock Jar Jar Binks, man. That guy's hilarious. Jar Jar's like the best.
I'm not gonna answer that, but I won't say he's the worst. I won't say he's the best.
No, look, alright, mainly in the Star Wars Clone Wars CGI.
Hey! Ain't about the Clone Wars.
We'll talk about the expanded universe, but right now I'm looking at some of the movies that came out around that time. I'm trying to see something that we would know, and to be totally honest,
Nothing else held up.
nothing else held up. I mean, you had some sequels to some horror movies, but you had the original Freaky Friday.
Okay.
I thought the one with Lindsay Lohan.
So
Much better than the old one.
now back into Star Wars.
I'm sorry, yeah, we'll cut
But
that.
now,
Cut out that
no,
tangent.
leave it in.
No, leave it in.
Whatever. So
What do you think?
speaking about the original movies, I mean, you kind of have it in all the movies, but you have almost the mythology that goes throughout all of them. So it kind of, whether it's a good Star Wars movie or a bad Star Wars movie, the innuendos that are put in throughout history and mythology are just insane. Whether you have it from, say, in the Clone Wars episode 2, when you have all these stormtroopers getting onto, I can't remember what the exact model of the things they flew in was, but it's supposed to resemble.
I should know this.
It's supposed to resemble Germany in 1940ish, when you have all of the SS troops just walking with their helmets on and just marching. Then you have, say, the samurai, which are essentially kind of the Jedi. It just spans throughout, so you
Space
kind of
Samurai.
Space Samurai, yeah, whatever.
No.
It's just kind of supposed to span throughout the entire series of just things that if you actually look into it, it's there. So I mean, you can say you hate it, but if you honestly think into it, there are things you can pull out to like from all of them.
And to talk at it from a filmmaking point of view, George Lucas, he when he was doing this, when he was put forth the idea to make Episode 4 A New Hope, when it was just Star Wars, all of his friends that were were filmmakers, including Steven Spielberg, who was one of his best friends, said, dude, this is not gonna work. This is so out there. Like, no one's gonna want to watch this. And it became a cult phenomenon. Like, it is such a part of our culture now. There's that whole idea of when someone makes something about Star Wars on YouTube that Disney or whoever wants to take it down because it's Star Wars, we own that, you can't make money off of that. But honestly, at this point, it's become part of our culture. Like, everyone knows what that is. Everyone knows what the Force is. Everyone knows what Yoda is, what Darth Vader is. Yeah, just everyone knows what that shit is. But, oh gosh, to get back on topic, we start bantering so bad, the three of us, just in general. But, let's talk about the overuse of CGI in the prequels. Because if you...
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Oh gosh. Because did you know that every clone trooper that you see in all of the movies in the prequels, all of them are CGI?
That's not surprising.
That's
all
beautiful.
of them.
That's beautiful.
Even when Mace Windu and Yoda are standing there in that starship, and there's a clone trooper shooting out the fucking starship, that's animated. Whenever Mace Windu is looking at Yoda, that's not a puppet like it was in the original trilogy. That's CGI.
The puppet was terrifying.
But let's
The
talk.
puppet was awesome, yo.
He was soulless. They could make the CGI thing breathe if they wanted to.
So you're telling me that you're going back on what you said earlier, that you are not a huge fan of the prequels, Anthony?
No. The puppet was soulless.
mate.
I'm saying
You
the
like the
puppet was
CGI over
soulless.
the
They
puppet.
could make the CGI breathe if they
Oh,
wanted to.
well, here's the thing, though. Did you know that when they put forth the idea to make Yoda animated, because in Phantom Menace, he was not. He was a puppet. But the puppet looked really, really weird.
That was a fucked up puppet.
It was a different puppet. But when he put forth the whole department to make this animated Yoda, and when he saw the product, he's like, whoa, that looks too different. Make that more puppet-like, so people can understand what it looks like. And George was like pushing for this thing to be animated, for it to look like its own thing. Make it more look like a puppet. You know?
Ooh, you CGI, you must. Better it is. Better effects you will get.
So if you wanted to go back and watch The Phantom Menace now, and then you would be like, whoa, all
Dear
of that.
heavens.
That the CGI is just atrocious. And even if you look at the movies that came out around that time, they were not very, the CGI was not very good comparatively. Like Titanic came out not that long before that.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Titanic was up before I was born. I thought that was in '93.
Well, I mean,
No.
they can't. They had to use CGI for that because they couldn't get a live action.
But then even then though, even if say it did come out in 1993, which I'm pretty sure it came out in 1999. Then the CGI in that movie is better than what was in The Phantom Menace that got all the funding it wanted because it said Star Wars on it.
Hey, you want to bash CGI? Toy Story, boom, we're done here.
Oh gosh, don't.
No comment.
Don't.
No Toy Story. Please don't bring up Toy Story.
No.
This is Star Wars right now.
That still hurt. My soul still hurts. Okay, I'm still crying from it.
We're not on the Toy Story.
I know.
Star Wars.
What? Okay, so reasons why people who say they absolutely love the original trilogy, reasons to love the original, or to love the prequels. Fanboys like me, Darth Maul, one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars history. Honestly, one of the best unused talents that was ever had for Star Wars. The things that could have been
in the
done with
theatrical
him.
movies, you mean?
Absolutely, yes, and not in expanded universe. We're talking about strictly right now in the 6 movies that are out. What could have been done with him throughout this last 2 movies to show what someone like Obi-Wan can do with hatred, seeing your master killed in front of you in such a terrible way, to not give in to something like the hatred like the Anakin faced with finding his mother and having her die in his hands. Again, not the exact same thing, but something very similar. Not going over to the dark side, staying to the light. Just things that could have been done.
So you're saying they missed out on a lot of potential. When
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest mistakes that's ever happened in the Star Wars movies, in my opinion.
So then let's talk about the Hayden Christensen acting in the prequels.
Now, who was he? Was he
Anakin.
Yeah.
Which one was he? Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
They used a child actor for 1, and he did not want to come back. He actually has not acted like in anything since. And he acted in one thing recently, but that's
because
he hates movies now.
He was horrible. That's what I call pod racing.
He also got bullied at school for his...
Yeah, he got bullied so bad.
Good. He was the worst part of the prequels.
Okay, but stop. I said Hayden Christensen. Not the child actor, Hayden Christensen.
Hayden was alright.
Oh, gosh.
Also,
this sand reminds me of my homeworld.
I can see...
Come on!
That sand reminds you of your homeworld.
Okay, it wasn't also just that.
Of course.
What they wrote... He was the whiniest bitch you have ever fucking seen.
I hate them!
The whiniest bitch. He goes from that to being the baddest person in the fucking universe, Darth Vader. What on earth happened?
What? Okay, what?
He thought his wife
getting
died?
all 4 of your limbs chopped off make you a fucking boss now? God damn, take all my limbs, please, turn me into fucking Vader. Burn me, incinerate my lungs, burn my face off, let's go. I want to be this badass.
The thing that really is stupid to me is that they set up Anakin to be the chosen one. And...
You were the chosen one!
And yet Obi-Wan was able to beat him. I understand, Anakin fell to the dark side, and therefore he was, letting go with anger and all that, so he wasn't fighting in the...
He also wasn't trained with the dark side. That's another key point. If someone were to be trained, I think it would have been closer, but also a little bit different.
How about that he went from... With Mace Windu, he came to arrest the Chancellor within, 2 seconds. Literally that fast to
killing Mace
Windu. And bowing before him and be like, alright, I can go kill kids now. And then in the next scene, he was killing children!
Do it!
The next scene! So, what happened to the character development there? There was character development and character arc in 4, 5, and 6 with Luke. He started as the whiny brat. Then he became the holy crap, I have to take down the Empire. Holy crap, Darth Vader's my father. what do I do with this information? And then in episode 6, he's a Jedi Master. And he is the beacon. He brings everything back, and he conquers the dark side.
Not to mention character development, like, hello, whiny bitch. Oh, we're not going to give you Master, but we're going to make you the youngest person to ever sit on the Jedi Council. Shut the fuck up, take the spot! Don't be that bitch! You don't get your cake, eat it too, have your dishes washed for you, and get another goddamn piece from your mom. Shut up!
Guys, he's not a whiny bitch! He's a great Jedi!
Oh my god.
So I just want to talk about this. There's a great scene in A New Hope. It's right when Luke is coming back with Ben, and he's coming back to see his aunt and uncle. And his aunt and uncle are dead right in front of him.
Spoilers!
The movie came out like 40 years ago. So and Luke, he looks at the burned corpses, looks away for a second, and then he looks back. Like, no, I need to remember this. I need to put this and destroy them. Like, just that one scene where there's no dialogue, you get something about his character. There is nothing like that I can recall in episodes 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Nothing like that.
Okay. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna respond with "Call legend Jar Jar Binks." Boom, we're done here.
Oh gosh.
No.
There's a I can't remember. If I can't find the link to put underneath the video, I'll try later. It might be a while before I find it. I might have to do a lot of digging. But there's a meeting. There's a part in, I believe it's the extended scenes of the first movie that was cut out. It may have been cut out later, where George is talking to the animators and just the overall storyboard writers. And before they start filming this, he said in the background, like, oh, everyone's sitting down at a table like this, and George is standing there and he's like, yeah, you have to understand, Jar Jar is the link to everything. He's the most important part about this movie. He is our wild card in this movie. Everything. He's the most important part of this movie.
But he fucking was, though!
No, he wasn't.
So you're telling me that
Jar Jar Binks should have been made a Jedi right away.
Anakin was the main part of the movie. He was supposed to be the main part of the movie. Let's talk about how much of a how much of a disappointment episode 1 was.
I wasn't that disappointed, honestly.
You weren't.
To be fair, I also have personal reasons. First movie I ever saw in theaters. I was a huge fan of Star Wars, seen all 3 before that.
But you were also 7 or 8, right?
You know what?
7,
It came out in 99, I think. Or
You know
2001.
So 6 or 7, whatever.
Looking back at it, I see why I love the prequels so much. Because they're so laughably bad. I can laugh. That's what I call pod racing! Misa Jar Jar Binks!
But there were people that had been waiting for this movie since 1981 when Return of the Jedi came out, and they're like, "Oh, we're finally going to get to see what Anakin was like before he became Darth Vader."
Pod racing,
and he's a fucking kid.
I loved it. I wish I could have seen everyone's face. You know, fucking. I'm going from trying to defend it to let's tear it apart because it's funny.
All right, I'm done with that. So,
it's hilarious. It's like the greatest.
So you want to you want to tear it apart? I will put a link to this scene in the fucking description. No, real quick. There's the fight between Yoda and Dooku, and the first Yoda is this fucking Force god. Like, he is just unbelievable. And Dooku's like, we must match wits with the Force, and like he puts out his hands and. He's a great actor. May he rest in peace. But it wasn't his fault. He puts his hands out and he goes like this. And like this rubble falls from the ceiling and crashes on Yoda and he goes, ugh, ugh. And then Dooku says, obviously we cannot match ourselves in the Force. We must challenge ourselves in the ways of the lightsaber. And then Yoda pulls out this tiny fucking lightsaber! And he's supposed to be like, no. He says in episode 5 that your weapons, you will not need them. All you need is the Force. Something along those lines.
Well, I mean, maybe because in between that time he learned that women are needed.
No.
And even in the second one, he's already like 700 years old. He's already wicked old. Oh, not 700.
Okay.
He's really fucking old.
So, tearing down prequels, something to absolutely love. Ewan fucking McGregor, in case you don't know, Obi-Wan, fucking amazing. Just gonna say.
Yes.
Amazing actor,
he's probably
hilarious.
the best part about those.
He is Ewan fucking McGregor. Just have to say that. Absolutely
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
So-
Yes.
Yeah, hands down, that's
Okay, let's put... Okay. 3 things we enjoyed about the prequels. John, go.
Maul, Vader, or not Vader, McGregor, and... Fuck, no, it's not goddamn Jar Jar.
Stop with the Jar Jar, dude.
Can I have Ewan McGregor down there twice because I absolutely fucking love Ewan McGregor? Can I honestly have
So you don't want to say lightsaber fights?
No, fucking Ewan McGregor.
Okay,
Ewan
fine.
McGregor
Ewan
twice.
McGregor twice.
Ewan McGregor twice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. 3 things I loved in the prequels. Okay, Jar Jar, the fucking effects,
No.
and that's what I call pod racing. Okay, boom, we're done here.
3 things I enjoyed about the prequels. I'm gonna have to say the
Nothing.
No, one, it's Star Wars. I'm gonna give it that. It's Star Wars, and we got another theatrical release of Star Wars. There were more races added to the world. The world got more rounded out. So that's 2. 3. I know that the fight was super, super long, and that it could have gotten way better, but I really enjoyed the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan in Episode 3.
Yeah.
Like, even though it got to the point where it's like, okay, this looks like a fucking video game, where, like, Anakin's they're on the lava, and they're on top of this, like, huge long thing, and they're like, you can, like, see these 2 lightsabers glowing as they're, like, going up, and then at some point, Anakin's on top of, like, this little bot thing, and he, like, looks at the camera, he's like, just all brooding, like, and it's like, dude, looks like an entry level into, like...
Wake me up!
It looks like a music video, like, it doesn't look real, it looks really, really just strange. But I really liked that fight. I mean, they could have done more with just the emotions going on there, it looked really choreographed. But, I really liked that. So, 3 things you enjoyed about the originals. Originals. John, go.
Oh, originals. Incest? No.
What the fuck? Incest is
wincest. No.
Jesus, John.
There goes John again. Alright, so 1.
Okay. Choking, you got Leia, the gold bikini. That's...
Gold bikini.
Okay.
Everyone's got to say that.
Yes, everyone, okay, I think, yeah. I mean, Vader is absolutely kind of awesome. It's just... the whole... Exactly. I mean, if you don't have Vader in this, there's kind of something maybe a little bit missing. The ending. Where you just have Luke and just Vader together when he's not really Vader anymore. He's kind of back to Anakin. And it's after he throws Palpatine down in the middle of the Death Star, down the core or whatever. And you just have that moment between father and son. That to me is kind of...
Yeah. Anthony, favorite things about the originals?
3 favorite things about the originals. Jar Jar Binks! No. Han Solo and Chewbacca. Man, fucking... Oh my god, Chewbacca, Han Solo. And okay. I'm pumped that they're gonna be in 7. That's all.
Yes.
I'm so pumped. Okay, number 2...
3?
No, because number 1 is the 2.
Okay.
Because they're a pair. You can't have one without the other. I swear to God.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to God, if they kill off one of them in the 7, I'm gonna cry.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
It might. It fucking might.
They're gonna kill. They're probably gonna kill off Han Solo because he doesn't want to play him anymore. He didn't even want to.
Stop it! Stop it! I don't want
Spoiler alert!
Okay, not really,
no.
because it's not even confirmed yet. So anyway, 2. The Millennium Falcon.
This is just gonna be Han and Chewie, all 3.
3. Han shot first. We're done here.
Han did shoot first.
Han, yeah, you got it. You shoot first, you don't bust back.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's what I liked. It was Han and Chewie all the way.
3 things I loved about the originals. I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna be a lot more picky, I think. The uniqueness of the whole thing. Just there wasn't anything like... There hasn't been anything like it since. Like, anything since Star Wars is either Star Wars or trying to be Star Wars. Like...
Space conflicts.
There's just... It's such a unique thing. But 3 things I loved specifically. I would have to go with the fight in Cloud City in Episode 5. That whole... thing between Vader and Luke was so cool, especially after looking back, after you know that it's his father, and you know, holy crap, he just cut off his son's hand. Like, there's...
Tough love.
Yeah, it's some cool shit going on there.
Go to your room.
Here, I'm Dooku. Have a nice night.
I'm probably also Han and Chewie. The relationship all the way through all three, just so cool, so fun to watch. Yeah, that was much better than mine. And probably Darth Vader. Trying to think of a specific scene that I really liked. Probably, you know what? Probably episode 4 when he's looking at Ben and he's like, what was it? What's the
When
quote?
I left,
When I left, but now I am the master. When I left you, I was but an apprentice, but now I am the master.
Yeah.
Just that whole, okay, now is my final chance to destroy him. If you strike me down, I'll be more powerful than you imagine. I don't give a shit, I'm killing you! Like, it was just that whole thing of,
I am not the Force.
I am now the master. I finally defeated you. But I still have this master up there who I can never really destroy because reasons.
The Force.
So yeah, those are probably my
Awakens.
3 things.
There's no all-powerful force.
We
in
never
the
talked.
universe.
We never talked about midichlorians.
Fuck midichlorians.
Oh gosh,
We ain't talking about midichlorians. No, we ain't talking about
We ain't talking about
midichlorians.
midichlorians. Midichlorians. What are those things? What? No.
They are give you the force.
In case you didn't know, midichlorians were okay.
We ain't
the
talking-
Force.
no, we ain't talking about
I'm just gonna. I'm just for them in case they don't know because they're casual or whatever. Why there's such
They
a
were
huge
the
debate
best thing to
over
put
it.
into the universe.
In episodes 1, 2, and 3, episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the idea of the Force was that it lives in all things. It is something that is like another element in the universe, almost like water, fire, earth, blah, 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 Fire Nation attacked. Like, like it's another element. It's another reoccurring thing in the world. That you don't have to be special to. You don't have to be born with something special to become a
the video's
Jedi.
going on long enough.
I'm almost done. And then in episode 2, it's like, no, that's not what the Force is.
Episode 1.
Episode 1 with Qui-Gon, that's right. Episode 1's like, that's not what the Force is. The Force is, like, in everybody. And look, he has a really high metachlorian count. What the fuck is metachlorians? Like, it's just...
It's like white blood cells, but...
It's white blood cells, but it's magic. It's magic blood. But, yeah, this video's gone long enough. We're gonna come at you next time with... What are we going at the next time with, Anna? Alright, next time on
Casual
Laidback...
versus competitive, baby.
At Laidback Nerds... Laidback... What do you call it?
Laidback debates.
Laidback Debates! The next time we're going to talk about competitive versus casual in Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, that whole card
Just
games.
competitive versus casual in general, really.
Alright,
Really
so this is London.
John.
And a defeated person!
Signing off, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.